WWE legitimately just did the unthinkable with Charlotte Flair. If I didn't see this for myself, I would not have believed it. It's that remarkable. And I don't think I'm being overdramatic when I talk about this. Now, we are coming out of Evolution 2, a premium live event featuring all women for the very first time since 2018. Going into the show, there was rumors, there was a little speculation. Ooh, would they do a Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair match? Nope, they ended up having Jade Cargill go one-on-one with Naomi in a no-holds-barred match with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee. We didn't get that. Ooh, would it be a situation where Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss went at it? They were teasing a little conflict, a little tension between these two, a lot of history between these two. I covered it here on the channel. Nope, they didn't do that either. What'd they do? Well, they opted to go in a completely different direction. They opted to have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss unite, become a tag team, come together, put their differences aside. And they challenged for the women's tag team titles. Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez going over them. Okay? There's an NXT tag team in there. There's a Raw tag team in there. It was very, very good. Did you notice something? No, I'm not talking about the finish. And yes, I know Charlotte Flair did not go over. Shocker. Here's what WWE did. They did something that Charlotte Flair recently talked about in an interview, and that fans did not think was possible. They made her, that crowd, in Atlanta, at the State Farm Arena, alongside Alexa Bliss, they made Charlotte Flair a legitimate babyface. What do I mean by legitimate? Well, look at the definition. WWE has positioned Charlotte Flair as a babyface in the past. They booked her as a babyface. They booked her in situations in which she should get the most sympathy out of some of the best that they have under contract. They have booked her against top-tier heels and top-tier storylines and tried to make it work. It just never did. Case in point, earlier this year, Charlotte Flair being sidelined for over a year with a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus, returns at the Royal Rumble, wins the Royal Rumble, going on to take on one of the most despised heels in the company, typically starting for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania 41. What happens? Well, two things happen. Number one, the fans don't care. They don't want to see Charlotte Flair in another WrestleMania main event challenging for a women's title in which she's going to win. And they also got Tiffany Stratton over to the point where she was a top babyface. So WWE had to pivot, and they turned Charlotte back into being a heel. And then they had Charlotte lose to Tiffany Stratton, who's over as a babyface, at WrestleMania. Holy moly, right? I know, crazy. So coming out of WrestleMania, Charlotte was just kind of in this holding pattern. She wasn't really doing anything. She was on TV, but she just wasn't doing anything of note. So coming into Evolution, WWE's like, well, crap, we don't have anything for Charlotte, and we don't really have anything for Alexa, so we're just going to throw in a tag team together. And I've said this before, right? People don't realize how big of a freaking star Alexa Bliss is. She got Charlotte Flair over as a babyface. She did. She got her over as a babyface. WWE has been trying for years. Charlotte Flair has been pushing to be a babyface for years. In a recent interview, Charlotte Flair talked about how she would love to be a babyface, that she would love to have a legitimate run as a babyface, where the fans fully accepted her. She wasn't a tweener, she didn't get bitch reactions, no, a full white meat babyface type run. That's what Charlotte Flair wanted. Now, if you recall, in 2023, Charlotte Flair, coming out of WrestleMania, in which she lost the championship to Rhea Ripley, what'd she do? She was on SmackDown. She was a babyface. Once again, not a legitimate babyface. There's levels to this game, right? She was not as over as WWE wanted her to be. So they had a situation where Charlotte is a babyface, but she's not as over as WWE would like for her to be. Fast forward 2025, Charlotte Flair's a babyface. A legit babyface. It's crazy. It really, really is. All the ups, all the downs over the last 2 years for Charlotte Flair. At the very tip top, women's champion, WrestleMania, having an epic feud, Rhea Ripley, to going into a babyface run that just absolutely faded, did not work whatsoever. Then gets injured, comes back as a babyface, doesn't work, has to be turned into a heel, doesn't win the championship, only to be turned, thanks to Alexa Bliss and the fan base, into a babyface. You cannot make this up. And I think this is a bigger point. This is what makes pro wrestling pro wrestling. You can carve out the best characters. You can carve out and you can write out the best storylines. And you can try to book the best angles. And against two stars, this star is interesting and this star is interesting, and we're going to have them collide over this stipulation or over this scenario, and they're going to have an epic match. And it doesn't work. You can have everything lined up, and it just doesn't click. Doesn't work out exactly how you want it. And then you have just random scenarios where things happen out of the clear blue sky. It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't have happened, but it does. That's what happens. That's the beauty of pro wrestling. And WWE has once again, just like they did with the Cody Rhodes storyline, finish your story, Cody. Well, they got a very, very different story. They got the Charlotte Flair babyface run that they always wanted, right? And now we're seeing this play out. Now, I don't know how long this is going to go. I don't know how long WWE is going to have Alexa Bliss be paired with Charlotte Flair. I don't know how long Charlotte Flair is going to be a babyface. I cannot tell you this information. But what I can tell you is this. WWE is eventually going to have Alexa or Charlotte turn. One of those are going to turn heel. If I had to guess, Charlotte having some sway, really wanting a heel run, she's probably going to, as a babyface run, she's probably going to stay as a babyface. So I see Alexa turning. Y'all, I think they are on the cusp of something really, really special when they get through this tag team run with Alexa and Charlotte, which will be fun. But when they get one of those to turn, and it's a traditional heel versus baby, woo, this feud's gonna pop, y'all. It's gonna pop. It's gonna be really good.